Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Solving Standard. I'm Corbin Hostler, and this is Sultai Constrictor, courtesy of Aaron Barich, who made it to the finals of Grand Prix Memphis with this deck. This is a really cool deck. If you need an explanation of what makes it different and special, I definitely suggest going and checking out the deck tech, because this deck has a lot going for it. It's not a snake deck like you expect. I mean, it is. It's Winding Constrictor deck, but it's just so different with some really small changes. And the biggest one, though, is Hedonist Climb. This card is so good. As you know, if you've played any Rivals of Ixalan Unlimited, it is a bomb. Put a counter on one of your creatures at the beginning of combat on your turn, and then on turn, once it transforms, just makes the creature fly over for the win. So this deck has just a ton going for it, to be honest. And we have a pretty good hand here, I think. We get to play Servant of the Conduit on turn 2. We get to go straight into a Hedonist Climb on turn 3, which is going to be pretty strong. We just start leveling up. We get to have a turn 4 Verdurous Gearhulk after that. So we're going to go, depending on what our opponent does here. Servant of the Conduit into Hedonist Climb into Verdurous Gearhulk. Pretty strong overall, and our opponent doesn't seem to be doing too much to stop us here. Alright, here we go. Hedonist Climb. Yeah, I think we're just going to get a go for it here. Our opponent has the 1 Forest and Evolving Wilds. Not exactly what they want here. Look at that. Just, boom, getting on in there. Crashing in for 3, by the way. We also get to play Verdurous Gearhulk next turn and flip this Hedonist Climb. And just like that, we're going to then get to have Hedonist Climb up and have a big creature and have Blossoming Defense to protect it. This deck just has so much going for it. It has a better late game than the other Constrictor decks. Well, we're not going to be doing it with this Servant of Conduit, though. It is worth noting I could have played slightly differently. I could have instead kept it open by not attacking to hold up Blossoming Defense, but I think that is an acceptable risk, to be honest. Looks like our opponent's actually probably on green-white aggro or something of that nature. Naya Monsters, maybe. I'm going to go ahead and cycle this Fetid Pools. Maybe I shouldn't, because we're actually going to need to play it, huh? Alright, so fair enough. Well, it was a bit of a blowout. Maybe it's possible with the way our hand was. I was supposed to not attack with that and just hold up Blossoming Defense to protect it, because playing a Verdurous Gearhulk after would be so good. I don't know. Our opponent doing nothing, though, which is just great for us. And now we get to play this Verdurous Gearhulk, which is going to be giant. I don't know how long it will last. I don't know if it's going to be long for this world, but it is going to be quite large. And as a matter of fact, if we get to move to combat, we're going to flip our Hedonist Climb. It's not actually an option either. You have to transform it. Which is certainly not a bad thing. And as a matter of fact, okay, we're getting cast out. That's fine. I was going to say, it actually does matter, and it will matter next turn as well if we get to do this. This would transform and immediately be able to provide mana for this Blossoming Defense that we have in hand. So just getting to move to combat and transform in Hedonist Climb is pretty big here. I don't actually know what our opponent's playing. It's not green-white aggro. It's apparently beat us down with Caracol's deck. That is certainly a thing. That said, our opponent's going to have a pretty difficult time right here with this 9/9 Gearhulk we're going to have. That said, they have 3 cards in hand. They could have multiple removal spells for it. Certainly possible. Yeah, I mean, our opponent has a lifelink, which makes it annoying to try to race here. But I mean, if our opponent wants to fight, I'm ready to battle here. Let's do it. It kind of makes sense on their part, I suppose. I mean, I don't think they're getting very far blocking. Let's see what the follow-up is. Uh-oh. Our opponent's deck is sweet. 8 from the cow. At the beginning of your end step, if a permanent control left the battlefield this turn, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a permanent, you put it into play. Otherwise, you put it on the bottom. That's pretty good. I mean, I'm going to kill our opponent, but that is pretty good. Let's see. Unless they hit something to block our Verdurous Gearhulk, they're just dead. Cast out doesn't do it. Make sure I can respond to this here. This is pretty nuts. Our opponent played Regal Caracal, answered all of our stuff. Actually really got to pop off with 8 from the cow there. That's really cool. Unfortunately for them, they are dead. So all we have to do is Blossoming Defense. This thing gets an 11/11. Wingtip over Raska. Attack for 22? I guess that's pretty good. More importantly, I think, though, it's worth noting that this is something that this deck can do because of this card. And the other versions of the deck can't do this. No other Snake deck can do this. And that's why you saw so much success with this deck at Grand Prix Memphis. Because look at that. I don't think we were actually going to win that game with anything other than what we had there. You're playing our Snake after that, having a 9/9 Gear Hulk, even that doesn't win the game. Our opponent's just going to just take a bunch of hits or blocks or whatever. They have plenty of cards in hand. Aid from the Cow will eventually just give them enough value to pull ahead of us. But because we just one-shotted them thanks to Wingtip over Raska, they didn't have the opportunity to do that, did they? This is where Thrashing Brontodon seemed pretty good, I suppose. That was actually really cool, to be honest. That was awesome. That was great. All right, so Hydra seems fine here. Honestly, all of this seems fine. I think we'd probably cut... We're on the draw, so I don't want to cut a Servant necessarily. Our opponent showed us a lot of enchantments, so I'm keeping these Brontodons in here. All of them. I'm probably going to cut a Vraska's Contempt. Our opponent seems to be on the tokens plan a little bit here. I like their deck, though. Seems fun. Well, it's a very risky hand, but I don't think I can mulligan it. This hand is so good if we hit us. Ooh, our opponent's deck is sweet. There's a Revolt Enabler if I've ever seen one. Alright, well, we obviously need to hit a swamp here. The thing is, though, with this hand so good if we hit a swamp in the first two draws, and even if we don't, we get to play the Servant. Yeah, I don't think there's any way that... Well, our opponent just has a 3/4. That's pretty good, too. I don't think there's any way we can mulligan the hand, though. Yeah, it won't be blocking. Alright, so... One time, no Baffling End, please. No Baffling End to Reno. Okay, Sunscourge Champion, not a big deal. Unfortunately, that is not a land for us. I think we have to play Jadelight Ranger. It's so tempting. It is certainly tempting to play the Snake. I won't lie. Maybe we should. Maybe. I don't want to miss a land drop, though. I'm just going to play the Jadelight Ranger. We really need lands here. Our hand is so good. We don't need to mess around and get Baffling Ended and then not draw a land and have an entire turn wasted. We just need to find lands. Alright, and speaking of, there you go. As a matter of fact, this is a land that allows us to Fatal Push this Rampager, which I'm going to do now, I think. I don't want our opponent to untap and have Blossoming Defense or whatever. This was a card that was kind of decent for a while in Standard with Greenbelt Rampager. 3/4 makes a bunch of energy. Nice little card, but Fatal Push is pretty good against it. Alright, no need to trade here. Don't want to give my opponent any value getting that thing back. I think we're okay racing. Regardless, our hand is just extremely good now that we've hit land. Alright, that's not exactly the land we wanted, but it will work. Alright, we're out of energy after we do this, which is a little awkward, but... I could have not pushed the Rampager and not had to worry about the energy. So what it means here is that we can't... You know, we can't play the other Snake here like we'd want to, but it's still fine. We get to play this this Ballista here for 2, which I don't think I'll be doing anything with, but we'll just pass. We get to untap next turn and do whatever we want. We can Gear Hulk for a lot. We actually can't. We don't have energy to do that, but we get a Snake and Siphoner. So all in all, we're setting up to be in a pretty dominating board position here in a turn or two. I don't know what our opponent will do about it. I'm going to go ahead and... I don't want to trade with this. I'll just take it. It's only 2 damage. I should have attacked with my Jadelight Ranger, though. I most certainly missed that. That was a misplay for sure. And there's a Caracal. I'm not attacking now. We will be in block mode. Adonis Climb's pretty good. Oh, the dream. Oh, I don't have energy, though. This doesn't actually make mana until we have energy for it. So I'm going to go black and green here. Well, actually, I want to go black and colorless. Make the Siphoner to get energy. And this is the only... We can't actually play Snake here, but I'm changing what we're aiming for here just a little bit. Because this gives us energy, and it gives us 2 energy even, which is pretty big. So now I can play Hadana's Climb, which is what I actually want to do. And we can still play Snake next turn and sort of do things. So this is going to be extremely good for us. We get to put 2 counters on the Walking Ballista here, thanks to Hadana's Climb. Just, as you can see, just enormously powerful. And now I get to ping... I think I want to ping down the Caracal. Or I don't want to do anything. Doing nothing's a pretty reasonable plan too, actually. Alright, so our board here is pretty solid. We have this 4-4 that's going to dominate. We get to untap and do quite a bit. So we can even untap it if we want and activate Ballista to put 3 counters on it. Yeah, Hawatli is a thing. It is also worth noting that we might have had more advantage. I think I'm going to do nothing. I'll let Hawatli get a lot of counters here. We could have not put him on Ballista and actually got value by just using Hadana's Climb the front side every turn. But this is okay. I'm going to use Siphoner here. Or I'm not, I guess. I guess I needed to click it on the stack, whatever. Lots of options here. I only have access... This adds any color of mana. Well, that's pretty busted. I could have sequenced my last turn differently, maybe, then. I could have... Because I could have used this for black mana in the second main phase. I might have actually completely messed last turn up. But that's going to be okay. Let's see what we can do here. I think I can go Snake. And then Vraska's Contempt Hawatli. I can also Snake just activate to put a counter on Walking Ballista. That would also be a thing. There's a lot of good options here, to be honest. I think what I'm going to do is attack Hawatli. Well, I guess saving that energy... Well, we would have got it in this, but I don't know. This is still fine. This gives us 3 energy. I actually don't even value Glint Sleeve that highly here. I value that it has Menace, but this attack makes things a little awkward for our opponent. And we can activate Ballista if we want. We can also do this at instant speed. So it's just basically a lot of terrible things here for our opponent to deal with. This is an onboard combat trick, but what I'm probably going to end up doing is putting 3 counters on my Ballista. Yeah, and just taking away all of my opponent's board. Trade the Jade Light for the Servant. Pick off the Caracal. So we'll have 7 counters on Ballista, and I can spend 5 of them to pick off the Caracal. Maybe I should have done things a little differently here. I don't think I've played this game great. This is what happens, of course, when you pick up new decks every week. It is hard to play them optimally. And I've played some Snake, but I've certainly not played a ton with Winged Temple of Vraska, that's for sure. Alright, we have a couple options here. We can also just make these trades and Vraska's Contempt Hawatli. It might be better. In fact, I think that's actually our best line. So I'm going to remove 3 to take out Regal Caracal here. So this allows our Glint Sleeve to trade with both of these cats. We're going to trade here. See, our opponent worked really hard to save their Hawatli here, which is what we wanted, but now we just get to remove it. And just like that, this all looks really good for us. You know, we get untap with Constrictor and double snake out. We have a Ballista still in play to load up. Our opponent has no board. You know, they put a lot of work into protecting that Huatli, trying to get an ultimate off, and we had, you know, I'm not going to say I played great. We basically had all the cards in our favor. They had to play around the Winged Temple. They had to play around the Walking Ballista. And in the end, they did the best they could with what we showed on board, and then we just had an answer on top of that. Tindershoot Dryad's pretty sweet. Our opponent does not have the City's Blessing. They are, in fact, very dead. So we're just going to go off here with this Verdurous Gear Hulk. Alright, I think we want to go probably just on everything, I think. I won't put any on the Servant. Well, that was pretty good. Alright, we'll remove 2 to kill this thing. No City's Blessing for our opponent, and now we get to attack with a bunch of creatures. Yeah, this one is probably over pretty soon here. Our opponent takes a bunch, goes down to 17. Draws for their turn. They have 2 cards in hand. They have to try to answer this pretty overwhelming board we have. The only card we really have to worry about, if they have Fumigate, they have Fumigate, and that's certainly a thing. We get a reload with J-Light Ranger at least. But Settle the Wreckage is the card I'd actually be considering playing around, because that is the card that Green-White decks typically sideboard here. Well, that was just incredibly broken. Yeah, why not? Some is good, more is better, right? Alright, well that was quite silly. I think our opponent's just dead, though. Oh, well they have something here. They want to cast out, huh? I don't even know what you're supposed to... I guess I don't even know what you're supposed to take. They want to get our other Verdurous Gear Hulk. Sure thing. They probably shouldn't have done that like that, because now I know that they do not have Settle the Wreckage, which means they are dead. Well, our opponent's deck was pretty cool. I definitely like the 8 from the Cowl. That's pretty fun. And honestly not bad, but we're going to kill them. So here comes 18 damage in the game. Game is ended. Solving Standard, everybody. There you go. Adonis Climb. Gosh, that card is good. Thanks for watching, everyone.